Hey people, I realized I made those DXM videos a couple years ago, and there are a few other things I wanted to touch on to kind of bring it to a conclusion. A third part, which this will be kind of concluding. There's just a few things, and I'll mention them in no particular order. When you're One of the exciting things about taking DXM is when it kicks in. Um, or the first sign your ears start ringing, and then you know you're in for real excitement. Your ears will start ringing no matter how much noise is around you. And then an hour into your dose that you take, when you're an hour into the high, drink a energy shot, any kind of energy shot, Stacker, 5 hour energy, any of that shit, and it will shoot you into outer space. It's pretty fantastic. Um, when you're on high doses, or even doses that make you feel uncomfortable, uh, just tell yourself you're in no danger. You really aren't. You're not in any danger. It's going to wear off. There's no potential for being permatripped like there is with acid. I've seen really devastating things happen to people who have used acid. There's no potential for that. Just be safe and stay in your fucking house you know, if you're really high, or see how it affects you before you decide to go out when you're a little more experienced. Dextromethorphan is a dissociative. It is classified, or it is in the same category as things like ketamine, PCP, and mescaline. I've never used any of these substances, but they say that it's the high is the closest to a mescaline high. So essentially, the more you take, what happens is you become more and more detached from reality. I've heard a lot of these phases of a DXM trip categorized as plateaus, plateau 1, 2, 3, and 4. And really, the real nice spot is plateau 3, which is essentially when you start hallucinating and shit. And I find it very pleasurable. 4, I believe there are like 5 or 6 above that too, that I have personally experienced on, highs that most people would be terrified to even attempt. Um, so, best things to do on DXM are watch movies, play video games, and the most commonly reported one is people like listening to music. It makes music sound really cool. So, shuffle through the YouTube, surf the web if you want. There's a number of playlists I've made that kind of go along with DXM. And the strangest songs sometimes, like Party in the USA by Miley Cyrus, is like one of my fave songs on DXM. I know it's totally dorky, but yeah, for some reason it appeals to me, like the bassiness and stuff. Um, I'm choosing to make this video particularly for a friend of mine who is he's withdrawing from meth. He's past withdrawal period, but he's just has a lot of that sinking thinking and wants to go back to that stuff. This, what I want to emphasize is the harm reduction model of drug use. I don't say addiction. Addict is a swear word to me. Anybody calls me an addict, I'll sock them in the face. That's an insult. But just a drug user, and he has a problematic drug habit, which I think is 3 things mainly: crack, meth, or heroin. You can never do harm reduction with those. You're never going to be able to use those responsibly. They will fuck you over. But I turn to rather innocuous substances like marijuana or DXM, and no harm done. I've been lied to a lot about DXM. I asked my psychiatrist if any of her other patients did DXM because fucking, she knew I did it. So anyway, she said there were all her. She had a bunch of patients who were in their 40s and did it. And she said she just summed it up as saying they had no capacity for thought left, which is a total fucking lie. That's a load of shit. I've gone to college and have 3.75 GPA. I was usually on DXM in my classes and shit. I'm talking like criminal justice and fucking, sociology, psychology, interesting shit, and art shit. Took a bunch of art classes, painting and drawing and stuff. So yeah, I believe it's completely does no harm to your brain or your body. It does fuck with your central nervous system, you know. But anyway, I guess on that, I'll touch on some of the side effects. That's you can look forward to. The side, I saw this PSA by a sheriff or something talking about this new stuff on the market called RoboCough, which is just like 2-ounce shots. It's just loaded with DXM, and just basically talking about DX. It's FDA approved. You can buy it on eBay. But in any case, I've never done it. But yeah, like I think it's funny to hear people talk about like what happened. Like this one lady was saying, like, she said, "Oh, my boy and his friend took it, and they couldn't pee, and they couldn't walk, and they couldn't talk." That's just par for the fucking course. All drugs have weird, most drugs have weird side effects. You just have to surrender to the fact that you have urine retention, and to go to the bathroom and piss, you're going to have to go a lot. But you get comfortable sitting, with a full bladder basically, and just it's such a body height. It doesn't even cause you any discomfort. But so that's no problem. Not being able to walk, that's when your central nervous system takes a hit. When you take really high doses, I don't think there's any permanent damage. I've done this drug hundreds of times over the past, since 2006, and I never give up on it. It's the greatest fucking drug ever. There are a lot of benefits to DXM. You always know exactly how much you're getting. You never get a varying amount or get ripped off by a dealer. It's always measured. You know exactly what you're taking. It's always available. It does not show up on UAs. I think they do have a UA test for it, but most places won't get it just because it's super expensive. But very uncommon that you'd be UA'd for it. You don't have to go through a shady dealer to get it. It's readily available in your local pharmacy or Target or Walmart or whatever. It's all over the place. And I think it's a rather innocuous substance. And if you had a bad reaction, don't do it again, whatever. But know always that you are in no danger, and call out to Jesus if you're having real problems, he's a merciful dude. I know this. Yes, I've called out to him a number of times from bad reactions I've had. But I'll tell you, like the only, I was saying in the previous video, part 2, that there was, some overdoses and bad shit. Okay, here I'll tell you the only shit. I've done extensive research on this over the years, really extreme research. Trying to find out everything. The stories I've heard, I think it's morbid humor, but it kind of cracks me up. This one thing that happened. But anyway, so one person overdosed because it was over in the UK, and they would put Coricidin in bottles, like Tylenol or Sudafed or ibuprofen. And they took 2 bottles filled with DXM pills and died. The only other deaths I've heard attributed to DXM, and I think this isn't uncommon, is that every once in a while, one of your drug dealers or a drug dealer somewhere, they get a hold of DXM powder. It's a white powder, whatever. You stir it into water and drink it. I don't really know. I've never done it. In any case, you have no idea what the potency is. So people just accidentally take killer doses and die from it. And I think this has happened a number of times. Not real common, but yeah, it does happen, I think. But this one, like, I can't imagine it. Like, I'm so chill. I wouldn't ever be able to hurt a mouse on this shit. Like, it makes you so chill. But I heard of a guy taking it, and I think he stabbed his brother to death. That just fucking cracks me up. He fucking stabbed his brother to death. On DXM. Oh yeah, and then there's this. I was in this group home recently where this big Native American guy, very big, very scary. He was a friend of mine, but he was taking DXM, and yeah, he lost his shit. He ruined his room. He like smashed his TV, and I just that seems so bizarre to me because you're so chill on DXM. Like I could never, But one thing I will mention is it seems like about a week exactly after I take it, I can have extreme bouts of anger. And in one case, I did beat the shit out of a guy, a week after taking DXM, and got kicked out of the facility I was in. So yeah, watch for that. But nothing, doesn't like make you insane, but yeah, it'll stir up your agitation, irritation, irritability and shit. Yeah, so just wanted to talk about some of the fun things about it and how to use it responsibly. And I think it's a great replacement for heroin, crack, meth, the really bad drugs, and it's really safe. For people who like using acid, it's a gamble. You never know what you're in for. You can have 100 good trips and then have a horrible one that ends your life. Dangerous. No, DXM is very, very chill. I've never had any lasting effects from it. Or any downsides to it. I only benefited from it. And in fact, it's I believe they're starting to dose people with autism, which I have, because it triggers your brain to release oxytocin. And I've had this happen before, even flood your brain with oxytocin, which gives you the lovey feeling, kind of like an ecstasy feeling or some shit, where you're like really affectionate towards people, but remaining non-sexual completely, but you just feel very lovey towards everyone and like to cuddle with girls and kiss girls and stuff, but no sexual aspect because it kills your sex drive. Anyway, hopefully it gives you a little more insight on it. It's a fantastic drug. It's my favorite drug in the world. I will never stop using it. I don't feel bad about it. I don't regret it. I just urge everyone to be safe, trust in the Lord, and practice good safety measures, mental hygiene, I call it. Do what's what's good for you, and do what works for you, But know that it's a great alternative, and if you're practicing harm reduction, it's a great alternative to a lot of more serious deadly drugs. So anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Robert, this video goes out to you, my buddy.